welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unlocking one of the most rewarding and completely budget-friendly secrets in the whole plant world. We're going to give you the ultimate guide to multiplying your indoor jungle, right from your kitchen windowsill, for absolutely free. If you've ever looked at a beloved plant and thought, man, I wish I had 5 of these, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. Propagation basics and tools. 2. Stem cuttings in water and soil. 3. Plant division for clumping. 4. Propagating succulents from leaves. And we'll wrap it up with 5. Advanced magic, air layering.
Starting with Section 1, Propagation Basics and Tools. Let's get our gear ready.
Before you even think about snipping your favorite plant, let's get our toolkit sorted out. And the great news is, you don't need a fancy laboratory for this. Just grab your sharpest scissors, pruning shears, or even a craft knife. Now, listen closely, because this is a big one. You've got to sterilize your tool with rubbing alcohol before making any cuts. It is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to avoid spreading disease between your plants. You'll also need some vessels, like glass jars for water propagation or small nursery pots with drainage for soil, along with your growing medium and some optional rooting hormone powder or gel to give those new cuttings a nice little jump start.
Now, this brings us to the absolute golden rule of propagation. We need to talk about the node. A node is basically a small bump or ring on a plant's stem. Why do we care so much about this? Because this is literally the command center where leaves, branches, and most importantly, roots grow from. If you take a cutting without this little bump included, that stem is just going to sit in a jar of water forever and never ever grow roots. So always find the node.
Moving right along to Section 2, Stem cuttings in water and soil.
Let's kick things off with water propagation. This method is incredibly popular because, honestly, it's totally mesmerizing. This technique is your go-to for fast-growing vining plants. We're talking your pothos, philodendrons, monsteras, hoyas, and wandering dudes. The best part? You get a front-row seat to watch the roots develop day by day right through the glass. It's like a tiny, daily science fair project on your shelf.
The process itself is a breeze. Step 1, cut a healthy stem, making sure you leave a leaf or two and, of course, that all-important node we just talked about. Step 2 is super important. Strip off any lower leaves. If those sit below the waterline, they'll just rot and gross up your fresh water. Step 3, pop the cutting in the water, making sure the node is completely submerged. And finally, stick it in bright, indirect light, and remember to swap out that water every few days to keep things fresh and oxygenated.
But hey, water isn't the magic bullet for everything. While your vining plants love a good soak, plants that rot easily, like snake plants, ZZ plants, begonias, and rubber plants, really need to go straight into soil. Bypassing the water actually gives them stronger, more robust roots right out of the gate, so they don't have to suffer through the shock of transitioning from a water environment to a dirt environment later on.
So how do we pull off soil propagation? Take your healthy stem or leaf cutting, and here's where that optional rooting hormone comes into play for Step 2. Dipping the cut end into that powder gives your plant a massive biological boost. Once it's dusted, plant it about an inch deep into moist, well-draining soil. The real trick here for Step 4 is balance. You want to keep that soil lightly moist, definitely not soggy, and let it chill in a warm, bright spot while those roots go to work underground.
All right, Section 3, Plant Division for Clumping. Let's look at probably the most straightforward method of all.
If the idea of cutting your plants makes you a little nervous, you're going to absolutely love plant division. This isn't really a science experiment. It's basically just splitting one massive clumping plant into several smaller, ready-made plants. This is perfect for things that naturally grow in dense clusters right from the base. Think calatheas, ferns, peace lilies, or popping those little pups off spider plants. This one is super tactile. First, just gently wiggle the entire mother plant out of its pot. It might look like a totally tangled mess, but don't panic. For Step 2, get your hands in there and physically massage the root ball to loosen the dirt. As you do, you'll start to feel where the plant naturally wants to separate into sections. Step 3, safely pull those natural clumps apart. You can use your hands or a clean, sterilized knife if they are being really stubborn. Just make sure each new clump takes a healthy chunk of roots with it. Finally, pot each new division in its own container with fresh soil, and boom, you instantly have brand new, fully formed plants.
Now for Section 4, Propagating succulents from leaves. Let's explore some truly magical regeneration powers.
Succulents are basically the ultimate survivalists of the plant world. If you've got fleshy ones like Echeveria, sedum, or jade plants, you don't even need a whole stem. You can literally grow a perfect tiny new plant from just a single naturally fallen leaf. It is wild. Now, this takes a little patience, but it's so fun to watch. First, if a leaf hasn't fallen on its own, gently twist a healthy one right off the main stem. Step 2 is critical. Leave that leaf alone in a shady spot for 2 to 3 days so the torn end can dry out and form a protective callus. Now look closely at step 4. After you lay that callus leaf flat on top of dry, succulent soil, you absolutely do not water it. Seriously, don't do it. Watering it now will just make it rot. Just give it bright, indirect light and wait. In a few weeks, tiny pink roots in a baby plant will magically pop out from the end of the leaf looking for moisture. Okay, but what do you do when your indoor tree has gotten way too tall, lost all its lower leaves, and it's just looking, well, awkwardly leggy in the corner of your living room? Standard stem cuttings just aren't gonna cut it here.
That brings us to Section 5, Advanced Magic, Air Layering.
Air layering sounds a little intimidating, I know, but it is brilliant. This method is specifically designed for woody or thick-stemmed plants like your fiddle leaf figs, rubber plants, and those giant, heavy monsteras. It actually lets you create a brand new root system for the top part of the plant before you ever chop it down. Let's walk through how to pull off this clever trick. First, pick the spot on that tall stem where you want your new plant's base to be. Make a careful, upward slanting cut about 1/3 of the way through the stem. Step 2. Take a handful of moist sphagnum moss and wrap it completely around that wound. Then, wrap the moss tightly in plastic wrap and secure it. You are essentially tricking the plant into growing a whole new root system inside that plastic-wrapped moss ball, all while it is still perfectly attached to and supported by the mother plant. After a few months, when you see roots filling up the plastic, you just execute step 5. Chop the stem off right below your new root ball and pot up your awesome new, shorter plant. Propagation truly is the magic of turning one plant into 2, 3, or even 10. It completely shifts how you see your collection, turning you from a consumer into a creator. So grab those sterilized scissors and ask yourself, which beautiful plant are you going to multiply for free today? And once you master this, you've really got to wonder what other incredible survival secrets are just sitting there, hidden right inside your plant's DNA.